In today's part of discussion, what we are going to do is going to discuss carbon and its compound, which is a part of class 10 CBSE. In that particular chapter, now we are going to concentrate about reactions involved in that particular chapter. இதில் இருக்கக்கூடிய மெயின் ரியாக்ஷன்ஸ் தான் இன்றைக்கி பார்க்க போகிறோம். ஸோ த ரியாக்ஷன்ஸ் ஆர் combustion, oxidation, addition, substitution. So 4 reactions மெயினாக இருக்கும்: combustion, oxidation, addition, substitution. Particularly what we should know about the reactions is, ஒவ்வொரு ரியாக்ஷனுக்கும் what is a reactant and what is a product, is there any catalyst is there, or what is the reagent should be added, what is the condition of temperature and pressure, what is the importance of the reactions, important note of the reaction. So these are the things we should know about the reaction. Before that, you should know how to define the reactions. The reaction எப்படி டிஃபைன் பண்ணுறதுன்னு தெரியணும். ரியாக்டர்னா என்ன, ப்ராடக்ட்னா என்ன, கேட்டலிஸ்ட் எப்போ யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம், என்னென்ன கேட்டலிஸ்ட்னா என்ன ரியாக்ஷனை போட்டால் that reaction will take place, what should be the condition of temperature, pressure. For 10th standard case, pressure is not the important factor, but temperature is main. What is the important thing about the reaction? That is important note. We will start with combustion. So combustion reaction அப்படின்றது, you are taking organic compound, எந்த ஒரு ஆர்கானிக் காம்பவுண்ட் ஆர் எனி கார்பன், எந்த கார்பன் எடுத்தாலும், when you heat in with oxygen, it becomes carbon dioxide. Along with the formation of oxide of carbon, it releases heat and light. So the reaction which produces heat and light is known as, or the reaction which produces energy is exothermic reaction. So in the reaction, whether you take carbon or its compound, it's hydrocarbon. For example, you take ethane. Why it is called as ethane? Ethna, 2 carbon. Ane indicates carbon contains a single bond. So carbon should have 4 bonds in a stable compound. நம்ம carbon single bond போட்டோம் அப்படின்னா remaining 3 bonds are there. So the 3 will be hydrogen. Same for this carbon. Already it is having 1 bond. Remaining 3 will be hydrogen. So when you are heating in presence of excess of oxygen, that will be converted to carbon dioxide. If you are heating hydrocarbon, you will get the product as carbon dioxide, water plus heat and light. If you are taking only carbon, you will get carbon dioxide. When you are taking hydrocarbon is a compound which contains hydrogen and carbon. When you are doing combustion of hydrocarbon, you will get carbon dioxide, water, heat and light. அப்போ பேலன்ஸ் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா, this side you have 2 carbon, but here we have only 1 carbon. So put 2 here. Now carbon is balanced. Here hydrogen 6, but here hydrogen 2. So put 3 here. Now hydrogen balanced, carbon balanced, but this side oxygen 4, and here we have 3. So totally 7 oxygens are there, but here we have 2 oxygen. So what we can do? Now we need to convert the 2 to 7. 7 is not the multiple of 2. It's odd number, 2 is even number. So we can multiply by 7 by 2. So what you will get? CH3 bond CH3 ethane plus 7 by 2 O2 gives 2 CO2 plus 3 H2O. Sir, whether fractions are allowed in balancing the reaction. Now it is balanced one. We are checking how many oxygen this side, how many carbon this side. How each and every element is balanced. But in order to convert the fraction to whole number, what we can do is we can multiply the whole equation by 2. We can multiply the whole equation by 2. By 2 means here also we should multiply 2, here also we should multiply 2, here also we should multiply 2, and here also we should multiply 2. So what you will get? 2CH3CH3, that is 2 molecules of ethane. When you multiply 2 into 7 by 2, you will get 7O2, gives 2 into 2, 4CO2 plus 2 into 6, 2 into 3, 6H2O. Now check whether the equation is balanced or not. This heat and light are energy, so we no need to multiply by 2 here. This side we have, in each molecule we have 2 carbon, 2 molecules of 4 carbon. Here also 4 carbon. This side each molecule contains 6 hydrogen, 2 molecules, so totally 12 hydrogen. Here also 12 hydrogen. This side 14 oxygen. Here we have 8 oxygen, and here we have 6 oxygen, so totally 14 oxygen. The reaction is balanced one. You try to do for what is the product when methane undergoes combustion. What will be the product? You try to do for this. Okay. Now next, what is the important thing we need to understand? When the combustion is happening, it produces heat energy which we are using as a fuel. The hydrocarbon fuel use பண்ற reason on increasing the temperature, it releases the energy which we can use for our own purpose. The coal we are getting the thermal power station, we are getting the electricity. It produces energy in the form of in the desired form, it produces light also in the form of heat, and the flame produce from area solar. There are 2 types of combustion: complete combustion, incomplete combustion. Complete combustion means saturated hydrocarbon. What is my saturated hydrocarbon? All alkanes are saturated hydrocarbon. All alkane type of compounds are saturated hydrocarbon. When saturated hydrocarbon reacts with enough amount of oxygen. What does mean by enough amount of oxygen, sir? For one, just before we seen, for 1 molecule of ethane, we need 7/2 molecules of O2. Then only it will undergo complete combustion, which gives 2 moles of carbon dioxide and 3 moles of water with heat and light. Which means for 1 molecule of ethane, we need 3.5 molecules of carbon dioxide. If you are giving carbon dioxide is less than 3.5 for 1 mole, if you are giving you are supplying the oxygen moles less than 3.5 means all ethane molecules will not convert into carbon dioxide and water. There will be incomplete combustion. The combustion will not be complete one. Sir, how can I know whether it will undergo incomplete or complete combustion? Theoretical method, you can balance this equation. For 1 mole we need 7/2. For 1 molecule we need 7/2 molecule. Theoretical way. What is the experimental way is, the light you are getting here, the flame, that flame will be blue in color. That indicates that all the fuels undergo complete combustion. Complete combustion results in the blue color flame, which indicates it has high calorific value. High calorific value. In the LPG gas use பண்ண சொல்ல, we can observe in the stove. Stove and the flame blue color இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னா, which indicates all our fuel undergo complete combustion. அதுக்கு 2 condition. ஒன்று, that hydrocarbon should be saturated hydrocarbon. Another condition is enough amount of oxygen. If there is no enough amount of oxygen, for saturated hydrocarbon only you are having, but you are supplying limited amount of oxygen. Instead of saying limited, we can say deficient amount of oxygen, less than the sufficient, which is nothing but deficient amount of oxygen, less number of oxygen. In this case and all, it will undergo incomplete combustion. Incomplete combustion results in the formation of yellow flame. So in yellow flame, all our hydrocarbon are not completely combusted, which means there will be an uncombusted, unburnt carbon particles. That unburnt carbon particles, see, if all the carbon undergo combustion means it will give carbon dioxide. If there is unburnt carbon means it will get deposited, which will be called as, which is otherwise known as non-sooty flame. So non-sooty flame means the flame which produces unburnt carbon particles. Sometimes we have seen in our kitchen also, இந்த வெசல்ஸ் எல்லாம் வந்து பாட்டமில் பிளாக் கலர் லேயர் ஃபார்மேஷன் நடக்கும். இட் இஸ் நாட் டியூ டு எனி அதர் ப்ராசஸ் அதர் தேன் திஸ். ஒன்று நம்மக்கிட்ட கொடுத்த ஃபியூயலில் அன்சாச்சுரேட் ஹைட்ரோ கார்பன், தட் இஸ் அனதர் திங், தட் இஸ் அ திங் வாட் வி ஆர் கோயிங் டு டிஸ்கஸ் நெக்ஸ்ட். அனதர் கண்டிஷன் ஃபார் த பிளாக் அண்ட் இஸ் டெஃபிஷியன்ட் அமௌண்ட் ஆஃப் ஆக்சிஜன். ஸோ ஆக்சிஜன் சப்ளை அங்கே எனஃபாக இருந்தில்ல அப்படின்னா அந்த ரெண்டு கேஸ்லையுமே தட் பிளாக்கனிங் வில் ஹேப்பன். ஸோ ஒய் த பிளாக்கனிங் இஸ் ஹேப்பனிங், பிளாக் அண்ட் சப்ஸ்டன்ஸ் ஏன் ஃபார்ம் ஆகுது அப்படின்னு கேட்டாங்கன்னா டியூ டு இன்கம்ப்ளீட் கம்பஷன். ஒய் இன்கம்ப்ளீட் கம்பஷன் அப்படின்னு கேட்டாங்கன்னா இட்ஸ் டியூ டு டூ கண்டிஷன். ஒன் இஸ் அன்சாச்சுரேட் ஹைட்ரோ கார்பன், another condition is deficient amount of oxygen. Under this two condition, the fuel will not undergo complete combustion, it will undergo incomplete combustion. Incomplete combustion results in the formation of blackening, that is otherwise known as non-sooty flame, which has low calorific value. High calorific value means ரொம்ப அதிகமான ஹீட் எனர்ஜி ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடியது. லோ calorific means ரொம்ப கம்மியான எனர்ஜி, which means because all the carbon are not undergoing combustion. அப்போ under two condition the fuel will undergo incomplete combustion. What are the two condition? If the hydrocarbon is unsaturated, unsaturated means if the hydrocarbon is saturated and enough amount of oxygen means it undergoes complete combustion. Hydrocarbon is saturated but there is no enough amount of oxygen. Deficient means it undergo incomplete combustion. If the hydrocarbon is unsaturated, we no need to worry about the oxygen. If the hydrocarbon is unsaturated means it can be alkene or alkyne. In that case, you can supply n number of oxygen, excess of oxygen also, but it will undergo only incomplete combustion. So which combustion will produce large amount of calorific value? That is complete combustion. Where you get the complete combustion means when saturated hydrocarbon reacts with enough amount of oxygen, it gives complete combustion. Where unsaturated hydrocarbon reacts with oxygen, it gives incomplete combustion. One more special case is when saturated hydrocarbon reacts with deficient amount of oxygen, it will undergo incomplete combustion. Clear? So அப்போ இந்த ரெண்டுல இருந்து கொஸ்டின் கேட்பாங்க. Try to understand, then try to apply your knowledge. Okay.